The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions, and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
Call me when you need someone to talk to. Call me, satisfaction guarantee. Call me.
Tastes just like candy.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Ask for Candy, where we talk about healing, self-care, love, sex, relationships, and what it takes to be amazing on the daily. And who I am is Candace Harper, lovecoach.com. And my purpose with this podcast is to create healthy romantic relationships all around the world. And we're starting right here in Teaneck, New Jersey at the Celebrities Boutique at 362 Cedar Lane. Celebrities Boutique is where everyone can look like a star and where you can afford to feel rich and famous. And I'm here with the beautiful owner of Celebrities Boutique, my co-host, Nneka Celebrities Bell, everybody.
I'm Nneka Bell. My purpose in life with this podcast is to be of assistance to women. I am a makeup artist and a fashion stylist, and my goal is to ensure that your outsides look as good as your insides feel.
All right.
That is wrong.
What, did you flip it?
Yes.
That your insides look as good as your
that your
outside?
insides feel as good as your outside looks.
I love it. And you want your insides to look good too, right?
Yes, you do. Right. I was like, wait, that is wrong. That is hilarious.
It all works. It's all good.
Yes.
Right? We want to feel good inside and out. I love it.
I promise you.
Yes. And you're doing it, mama. So shout out to Armed Radio and all the peeps around the world listening in. And if you want to check out replays later on and listen to the show with music and funny outtakes and the stuff that we do behind the scenes, subscribe to Ask for Candy on Anchor. And I will put the link for that in the post if you're on Facebook watching us. And those of you in Armed Radio, just find us on Anchor. Also, you can find us on YouTube, Ask for Candy Podcast. And so when you subscribe, like if you're busy on a Monday night, you'll never miss a show. You'll get to see us in action on video. I see a couple of people are trickling in, which is nice. Now, this is a good time for us to share, right? Make sure we're sharing in all the right places. Yes, are you going to do your watch party?
I am.
Nneka, those of you out there who are watching and on social media with us, please feel free to share with whoever you like. I'm sharing right now with the Ask for Candy, the podcast page, which we also have, and you guys can join at any time. We would love to have you. And here we go. I could start a watch party as well. Should I do that?
I guess, yeah, right? I mean, figure that out too.
Right.
And then it says live video comments, so we can see the comments, because sometimes I feel that we're not seeing the people's comments.
Right? I thought that too. And then we'll come back later and you guys have said all sorts of things and then we missed it. We're like,
so which one is it? The live video comments or the watch party comments? Okay, we'll figure that out.
I think you can toggle back and forth.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah, I think so. So I think this watch party might be happening in my group on this side. And so I don't know if as many people are going to know to come. But you know what?
Let's just do it.
We're going to go with it. We're learning.
Hey,
we're living and we're learning. So also, if you have any questions during the course of the show and you're shy and you don't necessarily want to interact here on social media, you can email us at askforcandypodcast@gmail.com and we will talk about whatever you'd like to talk about on a later broadcast, answer any questions that you have, all that good stuff. Right?
Sounds good.
Right. So Nneka and I, we love to have conversations. We love to keep growing and expanding. I, as you guys know, I'm a relationship coach, a growth workshop facilitator, and a professional matchmaker, here to teach and inspire radical self-acceptance in myself and in others so that we can all have our best possible love life.
And I am the owner of several businesses, a mother, a wife, an inspirational speaker, and a professor where I teach business and marketing. I am here to educate and inject you with my learned knowledge and show you how to manage all these areas in your life and be successful while doing so.
We don't have Style Maven in there. I feel like we should have Style Maven in there for
we
you.
don't?
No,
we
don't. You want to
don't.
add that? Like style, because Nneka's stylish, honey.
Yes.
That's why she has this boutique here, because she can put a look together.
Right. In 2.5 seconds.
Right? We need to add that in there so that people know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do that for
All
next
right.
week.
Yes.
Sounds like a plan.
So that's why this is a conversation. We're not here to hand down a bunch of dating or relationship rules or rights and wrongs. We're not here to shame your love situation, whatever that might be. That's your business. Our only intention is to create audacious intimacy, stylishly seductive singlehoods, and healthy relationships. So tonight and every Monday night, we're going to do what we do, which is have conversations that engage and enlighten and educate us and you, I feel like, right?
I definitely get educated.
Right, me too. In all areas, self-love, sex, relationships, and vibrating high.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds
That's a
good.
mouthful, all that.
It is, but you do a really good job at it.
Thank you.
I would have been tongue-tied, twisted up, everything.
I see my Hi, Kenya. Kenya just joined, my favorite. And Patrick's here, and Amanda.
Yes, we have Antoine, Alicia, Tiffany, Laverne, Jay West. Yes, we have a lot of them coming in. Tiffany.
Yeah.
Oh, I said Tiffany, right?
You said Tiffany.
Hey, Jason. Yes, my brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I love it. Welcome in, people. Welcome in. So what's happening right now? It's President's Day. Woohoo. I don't like...
Right.
Like, what is that about? It's a good day to have off.
That's it.
Right?
Period. That is it.
I'm so over politics, like so over politics. I can't even take it, right? And it's also Black History Month.
Yes.
Which I think is fantastic.
Fantastic. What's today's date?
Today, I know. This month is going
really so fast.
17th already.
Wow.
The month is like whizzing by.
Wow.
And I don't know. Have you done? I haven't done anything in particular to celebrate Black History, and I feel a little guilt about it.
I know, but what do you normally do?
I don't.
Right, exactly.
I try to like attend things and be involved, go to events and stuff.
Okay.
In Harlem, there's the Schomburg Center, which is all about, Black history and Black art and things
I'm trying
like
to think, what do I normally do?
Yeah. Church is good. I feel like...
Well, I do that every Sunday.
You do that every Sunday.
Yeah.
And when we were kids, it was always like, church and Black history went hand in hand.
And we wore African garment on Sunday. So
Did
African
you?
attire, should I say, yeah.
Okay.
It was cool. It was cool.
I feel like just that we're here and we're Black, we're celebrating Black history.
That's right.
Right? We're making Black history, y'all.
Right.
That's what we're
exactly.
doing. And we're wrapping up Valentine's weekend, which is going to be a big thing that we talk about this show. We're going to talk about, Valentine's weekend, what it all means for us. And I know it's one of those holidays that everybody's like, it's made up, it's BS, whatever. But I really consider it like my high holy day, because I feel like even though everybody always says, it's something we should be celebrating every day, the fact that we don't. It needs a day. And I'm glad that we have that day. And for me, it's an opportunity to really acknowledge how important love is, because I think sometimes people think it's just this frivolous thing.
Yeah.
And they don't understand how much we suffer as people because we don't, the way that we approach love.
I love it.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. I'm like, I love that.
We're going to dig into that and just talk about it a little bit and talk about, the good and the bad of it all.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
What about our daily amazingness this week?
This week, I slept.
Did you?
I slept.
That's good.
And I didn't feel guilty.
Yeah.
Because I don't get a lot of sleep. Even when I go to the doctor, they're like, how many hours do you normally sleep? And I'm like, 4 or 5. I don't sleep much.
Yeah.
But this week I slept.
You did?
Yes.
I think that's
hours.
a fantastic thing.
I know.
Yeah. I'm a big advocate
so good.
for it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, it's true. And especially as and I don't like to do that as we get older thing, but, sleep is important your whole life. And I think you can get away with it more when you're younger.
Right.
With having, running on 3 or 4 hours or whatever.
Yes.
But they say we're supposed to be getting like 7 to 8 hours.
Oh, no. I wish.
Right? How
wish.
often does that really happen?
Not often enough.
I've been trying to be better myself about it.
It's hard though when you're in business, because it's always something to do. You're always thinking of the next thing, It's just a lot.
Yeah.
So, sleep for me, it's not often. So when I stay home and I actually sleep, it feels good.
Yeah.
Even today, with everybody being off, I just washed my hair. I just did a lot.
Yeah.
Cleaned up.
Self-care.
Yeah. It felt good. It felt good.
It's important. It's important stuff. Right?
Yes.
So let's dive into our
Let's
see where this goes. So you guys out there, feel free to chime in, because, it doesn't matter how you spent your weekend. What's most important is that you did something for yourself that you love, or something for your loved one that you love, that it meant something to you, and that you got something out of it. Or, this is about getting into awareness that you got something out of it.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Especially if you're someone who spent it sad. And I know a lot of people spend times like this very sad.
I remember. I used to be one of those people.
Did you?
Oh, my God.
Tell us about that.
There was just one Valentine's. I don't remember which year it was, but it was very depressing.
Yeah.
I don't know why. And me and this young lady, we went out to eat, and it was all-you-can-eat pancakes at IHOP. I remember it like it was yesterday, and it was on Valentine's Day. It was me, her, and her daughter, and we ate. I don't know where my children were.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but somebody's my eye.
I didn't get to
But
go.
yeah, we went to IHOP, and oh God, wait.
What happened?
My eye.
You got something in your eye?
Yes.
All right.
Sorry,
Well, while Nneka gets that out of her eye.
Hey, what happened? All right, go. You go. Talk about your...
So my Valentine's Days have usually been generally like pretty okay, but there was a time, especially when I was younger, where I used to do that thing that a lot of single people do, where it's like, go into depression mode around Valentine's Day, where it's like, if I'm single, if I'm not dating anybody, which when I was younger, there weren't very many Valentines that I wasn't dating anybody, because I was always with somebody or in some sort of relationship. But when I was younger, I definitely used to feel all this pressure. Mm-hmm. New Year's and Valentine's Day, where it had to be this big, amazing thing. How you doing? Did you get it out of your
No, my whole contact is out my eye.
Oh, no.
It ripped.
Are you okay?
Yes, this is what happens when you go live. But
right?
It's okay.
As long as it didn't hurt your eye.
No.
Okay. So, it's like there would always be all this big hype and all these rules around what it's supposed to be like and what other people are doing, and that what they call despair and compare. Like so-and-so's got this, or so-and-so's going with their man, or, whatever, or my man didn't show up with flowers. Like, that whole story kind of ruins the experience.
It's true.
I think.
It is so true.
Send you into a spiral, and that's what I used to do when I was younger. Yeah. Like, I mean, it was rare, because it was rare that I was without a Valentine, but there used to be a time if I was, it was a problem.
Right. I don't know what I was going through that Valentine's Day, but it was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I never want to feel that way again. Ever.
Right?
It was just crazy. I don't even know why I put myself through it.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure I had other things to do. To sit there and mope for 24 hours, that was crazy, because the next day I was fine.
Yeah.
But it was just that one day I'm going crazy eating all you can eat pancakes.
I feel like we do that to ourselves a lot.
Why?
That unexplainable moping.
That was crazy.
And that's not let me not take away from people who are actually having mental health issues. That's one thing.
That's one thing.
Depression and all that stuff. But I do think that as a culture, we tend to, and it's part of maturity too. You've probably grown since then.
Yeah, of course.
But we do tend to, and I do it, just wallow in stuff sometimes, or look for like all the things that are wrong.
Right.
And then be in that mind state as if it's always going to be wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's crazy.
I don't know. I feel like that's part of it.
Yeah, I'm glad we're grown up now.
Right. So what was your, and you guys too can answer these questions, what was your favorite moment this weekend?
Oh.
Out of this Valentine's weekend. What
You
was
want
like
me to answer?
I want
or
you
you
to
want to wait
answer.
for them? Let's see.
Well, we'll see. I have people talking on the video feed and also on the watch party. So,
you do?
Well, on the watch party, I have one, and then I have a few people that are on the video feed. Let me see if I can toggle back and forth.
Let's see.
All right. Stand by, those of you in the listening world who have no idea what's going on.
Right. I know Fanta just waved at us.
Hi, Fanta.
Hey, Fanta.
Hi, my love. How are you?
Right.
So yeah, what was while I'm looking for this, what was
my favorite moment, I posted it on Facebook. Remember when we were looking out the door, I was looking out and I said, well, somebody's getting flowers, but it's not me.
Oh yeah.
Remember?
Yes,
and you came in and asked for me.
Friday.
That was an amazing moment, because at 43 years old, no one has ever surprised me with flowers. Got them delivered, should I say. They always brought them to me, but I've never received the delivery, so that was different.
Yeah.
I know.
That was sweet.
It was so sweet.
First of all, I was glad to be there for the moment, because you were so sure.
Right.
You saw the delivery guy. I'm going to tell the people the story. So Nneka's sitting, like the way the boutique is situated, there's the wrap desk that's behind us, and then there's the window that's up in front of us, and there's a little couch you can sit down on. And Nneka was sitting there working on something or whatever. And of course, it was Friday. It was Valentine's Day. And you can see, if you look out the window, you can see the street and everything that's going on. And she saw a 1-800-Flowers guy with a truck bring flowers out. And she's like, somebody's getting flowers, but it's not for me.
Right.
Like, full on at it, it's not for me.
You couldn't tell me nothing.
Right? And then
Wasn't that weird? That I said, not for me. And then it was just so crazy. So that was a moment.
It was very sweet.
Very emotional. I wish I was like
very
a
classy,
baby.
honey.
Yes.
Very classy move.
Well, he said the reason why he never did it is because I never stayed still. I was like, what?
Stayed still in what sense?
Because I had the truck.
Okay.
So, they're not going to deliver to the truck.
Gotcha.
You understand?
Yes,
and then before that, I drove a bus.
Got you.
So it was like, I was always
in a vehicle.
It was never, I'm never stationary.
Yeah.
Like, you can't get to me. So this is the first time he's like, I have it. I got the opportunity. I'm going to run with it.
Right?
Yeah.
You were always in a vehicle.
Always. Isn't that something? He got me.
Definitely something.
Yes.
That's a good favorite moment. I like that a lot.
What about you?
My favorite moment this weekend, and this is going to sound so weird and airy-fairy, but it really it hit me in my heart. I was guest teaching with my friend Jamie, who is play dating. She does this thing called play dating. She's also a relationship coach, and she works with singles and couples with, having fun while they date and bringing play and joy into their relationships and their lives, right? So I got to go. It's right up my alley. I got to go and guest teach, and I'm such a big believer in manifestation and things that you say and what you put your word on. And right now, I'm in a place in my singlehood that is very it's like there's this crackling in the air where I'm starting to feel ready for a relationship, and I've been saying that for a little while. But as time goes by, it's like. I don't know. There's something I'm sensing.
Wow.
And one thing I know that's so true for me, throughout my life, whenever something has been about to happen, the people around me who I naturally surround myself with are usually people who are of whatever I'm thinking of.
Gotcha.
So when I was in my single mode, everybody I hung out with was single, and it was all about that. And it was, it was that kind of life, whatever that meant. Mm-hmm. And then, as I phased through and was in a relationship, and it wasn't working, and I wanted that back. It's everything that I would come in contact with, everything I attracted was about being single and, whatever that meant, and being free and traveling and taking opportunities and all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. And right now I'm in two modes. I'm in a relationship mode, or I'm getting in a relationship mode, and I'm also in a travel mode. And so now all this stuff is the people I surround myself with are all married people in solid relationships, or in, seemingly good relationships from my perspective.
Right.
And I'm in these situations where I get to witness, and Saturday night was one of them, guest teaching this class, all these couples, and they were varied in ages, probably from late 20s to early 50s. And there was just so much love and happiness and romance in the room. And I just I feed off that stuff.
Wow.
Right? I love that stuff. I love it, in movies. I love it in real life. I just love having it around me. And I noticed that lately more and more I'm around couples with Friday when you got the flowers from Lorenzo, I'm around those kinds of things more and more.
So and I have this, happen,
I feel this thing. And in that moment that I was, I took a moment while I was in that class, and I was just something is there. I don't know.
Let's see.
Know what it is. Only God knows.
Drum roll.
Right?
Right.
But it was my favorite moment for the whole weekend, because it was just so indicative of just love and joy and people just loving each other. And they were play dating, they were playing with each other.
Wow.
And so, yeah.
That's cool.
Right?
Yes.
And, I always tell you how my parents, even though they're still together, my modeling of what relationships are was always kind of a tumultuous, we only talk to each other when we have to kind of thing, or kind of staying together, even though there's not a lot of joy.
Right.
And so when I see relationships like that, I get really filled up, because it's that is possible.
Yes.
And for a long time, I didn't think it was. I think relationships always had to have drama.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
That's funny.
Right?
I get it.
I felt like it wasn't love unless there was struggle.
Right.
And now it's
you see that it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah. And I get to see examples of that. A lot of examples of that. Yeah. So
that feels good.
Right?
Yeah.
So I feel like something. Wow.
It's coming.
Something's in the air.
Yes. So if you don't see Candace coming on live, you know what happened.
Well, that's the thing, too. Whoever he's going to be, he's going to have to support all of this.
Okay.
Or be in support of it in some way.
Okay, let's see. If y'all see me, be like, "Oh, catch us next week." Right. Candace found a boo.
Yeah, I found a boo. I'm out.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring him on. Right. I see Joe. Hi, Joe. Hi, Jen. We got people joining us. You guys tell us, Joe, I know you have a love. I see, hi, Penny, hi, Kimberly, hi, Michael. You guys tell us what your favorite moment from this Valentine's Day weekend was. Doesn't matter whether you're in a relationship or not, whatever your moment. Joe Pryor says, I'm sure he will support whatever you want. Oh, thank you, Joe. I appreciate that, honey.
Right.
He's so sweet and kind. Joe, tell us how you and your partner spent your Valentine's, or what was your favorite moment of this Valentine's weekend?
Yeah,
because that's what
I
we're
want to hear. Somebody.
Right? What about Fanta? I wondered if Fanta did anything special. Fanta, you need to share with us too. Let us know what you did.
Yes.
So,
what's next?
The next question.
What did you learn about your love life? Huh?
Did you learn anything this weekend? Anything new?
Anything new?
Yeah, or
I don't think it was new. I love surprises.
Yeah.
So that wasn't new. Anything new? Not really.
Yeah.
I just realized that, it's not new though, but I do realize that I appreciate time. I respect time. Like, so I don't take time for granted.
Yeah.
You know, I guess like with the whole Kobe Bryant. Well, before that, I was always a person that, like, I always tried to make up during arguments or whatever the case may be, because for me, nobody promised that I would be here or my husband would be here.
Yeah.
The next minute.
Yeah. No,
so I appreciate every minute. And he always asks me, why do you keep staring at me like that? I know it sounds kind of creepy and crazy, but for me, it's like I want to appreciate every moment.
Yeah.
You get it? Because you never know. Is this the last time that I'm going to see your eyes open, that I want to hear you snore? Or, like anything. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I appreciate time. Like
gratitude. Gratitude for the time spent together.
Yes.
Would you say that quality time is your love language?
I would say, I guess because I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
If he would have today, he would have been sitting outside. Like, I love when he just sitting waiting for me.
Waits for you.
So when I get out, I could just get in the car, he's there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Yeah. But today I gave him a break.
You did.
Yeah. I didn't even ask. I'm proud of myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that though.
You do?
Yeah, because I think, that's speaks to like how little we pay attention to those good things that we have in our lives, whether it's another person or whatever. I mean, that's how we show gratitude. People always talk about gratitude. Yeah. But gratitude is really being like, I'm in this moment and I love it and I appreciate it.
Right.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah. I think that's beautiful.
That's true. Thank you.
Right? What's Joe said?
I guess it's after going through going through so much.
Yeah.
And I thank God for going through, because I have something to compare it to. Yeah. And so I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Going through all of that, it helped me not to talk so harsh, all the time. I'm still a work in progress.
I still got moments. We all got moments.
But I guess, that's why I am the way I am. And I know sometimes it sounds so mushy or it can't be all that good, but I think nothing is perfect.
Yeah.
But I guess because you go through so much, you're like,
yeah, but here's the thing. That conversation that's like, oh, it can't be all that good, that's the cynical side. And it can be all that good.
No, but that's what my husband, when we first got married, our argument to him was like, is this a bad marriage?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, anytime you put two people together, you're going to have disagreements.
Yeah.
It's impossible for it to always be all good. Yeah. No, there are going to be times that I look at you and I don't like you, or you look at me and don't like me, and it's okay.
I think that stuff is good.
Right.
If you're okay with it.
If you're okay with it.
Yeah.
But when you come from, his parents were married 54 years, and you hardly heard them argue.
Wow.
So when we argue, he was traumatized.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, your parents are not normal. We are.
Right? What is with that generation, though, too?
Right.
Like, they didn't... Well, here's what I think is with that generation. Because women of their generation married because they needed to do it.
Right.
And so they learned to keep it quiet or seethe about it, or find passive-aggressive ways to get around conflict.
Gotcha.
That's what I think. I don't know. I'm assuming. Because my parents were together forever like that, too. Where it's like they I wouldn't say they never argued, but they just were always like... just not that nice to each other. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Like, there was always conflict. There was always things going on. I can remember maybe 2 actual arguments my whole growing up.
Only 2? That's amazing.
Yeah, but they were never nice to each other.
Gotcha.
Like rarely. I think on holidays, my dad would kiss my mom after the dinner because it was good food. My mom was a good cook.
Right.
On holidays.
I love it.
That was
That's
the only
funny.
kind of sweetness. So you knew there was always underlying like stuff.
Gotcha.
But, it wasn't like they were walking around fighting all the time.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Where I feel like you're right. Like nowadays, I do think there's a healthy way to argue, but it is important to be able to let conflict be conflict.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
What did Darren say?
What did Darren say? I guess my favorite part is just being together. I made a video where our heads were on the Grease stars singing. Oh, I saw one of those. I didn't see yours, Darren, but I saw one of those on the Grease stars singing, and we both got a laugh out of it. Sometimes it's the small things. Yeah.
Yes. And
definitely.
Frances said that she flew in from Anaheim Thursday and left for Philadelphia Thursday night after Bible study to be with 7 of her grandchildren. Aww. And she said that that's where she is right now. She's still here.
Aww.
Wow.
Valentine
Enjoy.
baby.
Fanta. That's amazing.
That's
7
awesome.
grandchildren?
Right?
Wow.
Go ahead, girl.
Right, you doing it. Shoot.
Right? Matriarch.
Yes.
So Joe says, we keep things simple because we have been together for a while. We love cooking together. We pick a new recipe or something we love to eat and share a what meal?
A what? A what? A what?
Oh, I don't know. A quiet, I think it's
okay. I was like, a what we even
and share a quiet meal. A good meal always leads to a great night. Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
All right.
Smile. Okay, Joe. You know what she was all about this weekend. Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, what were we talking about? We were saying
just talking about
what we learned.
Yeah. About arguing and, when two people are together.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that it's okay. And that it's good. But the original thing we were talking about is like, what did we learn about our love? I mean, for me, I learned some things about so funny too, because I did a search looking for an email and I accidentally came across a letter that I wrote my last relationship when we were breaking up.
Wow.
Yeah. Like we had a little bit of an email exchange back and forth. There was nothing nasty or mean or anything like that. But it I think what I learned, first of all, I had forgotten a lot of the good parts of it because I had to focus on the negative parts so that I could extract myself from it.
Right.
But I had forgotten a lot of that good stuff. And reading that letter, what it reminded me of was that, like during this healing phase that I am capable of being, with someone where I can be sweet and compassionate with them and that is there still.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
I feel like sometimes if we're not in a relationship for too long, or if we carry that story of having a bad relationship, sometimes we get too much in the idea that it's negative and that there's going to be negativity around it. And if you would have asked me within the first year or so, I definitely didn't want to really date anybody because I just felt like, all men were shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I knew it cognitively wasn't true.
Right.
But yeah, so I think what I learned this weekend was that I'm back in a space of feeling like, everybody's a field of possibility and anything can happen. And yeah,
I love it.
And there's good people out there, and who knows?
One might be watching right now.
Right? Hi, Sharontina and Rich joined. Hi, you guys. And George and Sarah.
George.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Sarah. Hey, Catrice.
Catrice.
Hey, Tanya.
Hi, honey.
Yes. She said we never respond to her when she's saying, she didn't write it this time, but she called me and said, every time I make a comment, y'all never respond. I'm like, okay. So, yes, we're going to look for her comment today.
Right. And Catrice, we were just saying that we keep finding that people have commented after the fact. So we're trying to learn and be better about that and understand the whole sharing thing.
Yes, right.
So we would never ignore you because we love it when you participate.
Yes.
Right. So, okay, what are some things that you want to create in your love life going forward?
Oh.
And you guys can answer that too. What are some things, now that we've had 2020 Valentine's Day weekend, what are some things that you want to create in your love life going forward?
You go first.
Yeah. You want me to go first?
Yes. I always go first.
Well, I mean, besides being open to partnership, I definitely want to continue this sort of like strong self-relationship and self-understanding. So I'm always going to be on that kind of journey. But I think what I really want to create in my next partnership is, first of all, a lot of adventure and travel and things like that, and co-building. Which I haven't necessarily had that with anyone, where it's not like that we have to be doing the exact same thing, but that we're of the understanding that we're sort of building an empire together.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. I didn't have that before, because I don't think we were, part of the reason that we didn't work out is because we weren't aligned in that way. Like he had his sort of visions about things, but not a lot of movement around it. I had my visions around things, and we didn't know how to sort of make them work and cross support each other.
Okay.
Or just cross support each other in general. But that's what I definitely want to create going forward.
That sounds good.
Yeah, because I feel like that lays a foundation, right?
It does.
Do you feel like you and Lorenzo have done that?
Well, I think what I would want to create is just more, I would say more listening. More listening. Right? Because I know we hear each other because we have ears and we can hear.
Yeah.
But just to really listen.
Like understanding.
To understand.
Yeah.
And if you don't understand, not to assume, but to ask questions.
Yeah.
For clarity.
Yeah.
So that's one of our prayers that we pray every morning.
I love it.
Right? Because the goal is for us to just grow.
Yeah.
I don't want to remain stagnant. Marriage is work.
Yeah.
And you have to show up for work every day. There's no sick days, vacation days. It's like entrepreneurship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's no compensation if you call out sick and you have some days. No, you have to show up for marriage every day.
Yeah.
So while you're showing up every day, I want you to hear me. I want you to listen.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so that's what I want to do more of, to create moving forward. Yeah.
That's what they do a lot too. In whenever you go to like marriage groups and marriage therapies, it's always about the active listening thing, because I think that's one thing that men and women struggle with the most. They always say that couples mainly argue over money, but I think that a lot of times what happens is that we speak like different languages.
Oh, 100%.
Right?
It's 110%.
Right? They say one thing, we hear another, and vice versa.
And sometimes you just don't understand. And I just you ever saw a dog and when you're talking to the dog and he doesn't understand, the dog turns his head.
Yes.
Because he's trying to understand, and so sometimes even with my husband, I'm like, because I'm trying to understand why, the why behind, what were you thinking?
Yeah.
And I'm like, God help me. I gotta turn all the way, because I'm like, but yeah,
upside down.
We are definitely totally different creatures.
Yeah.
God.
I feel like that's the journey too, though. I mean, when you get with somebody, and like we were talking about, compared to what past generations used to do, where it's like we speak a different language so we don't bother to speak.
Right.
Or we fight.
Right.
Whereas now, we're Generation X, we're the therapy generation. So I think that's the journey, is like, as generations go forward in the new age, it's going to really be about, because I don't need you to survive, but I need you for my affection and fulfillment, emotional fulfillment, things like that. Mm-hmm. So this, like, learning how to actually communicate and listen and hear and understand and empathize with each other, I think that's the big thing right now.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like, that's very relevant.
God.
It's serious stuff. Darren says, it is true that people will create a block on others when they are in a bad relationship. Sometimes it even affects everyday normal conversations with the opposite sex.
Yes.
Yeah. Create a block on others. Well, I guess that's where you I don't know. You have to talk about that a little bit more, Darren, because I'm not really sure what you mean. What's he referring to?
Maybe blocking. Maybe we were talking about. I don't know.
I know, right?
I'm trying to help you, Darren.
More, right? But I think I understand what you're saying. Sometimes it even affects everyday normal conversation with the opposite sex. You're kind of talking about what we're talking about, that inability to, us speaking a different language,
right,
and just hearing things differently.
Yes.
Yeah, girl.
And sometimes, when me and God are just having our little conversation, because sometimes I just talk. Like, I'm not praying right now. I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, why would you make us so different? Right? Because it's so difficult. And I just want to know why. Why did you do that?
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
It is.
So I don't know. He hasn't answered
but
yet.
Then if we weren't so different and
know.
we didn't have that challenge, what would we do? I mean, I feel like as humans, we're always like, why is this way? Why? Even if it's like a why me question. But if we didn't have any of the challenges we have, what would we do with ourselves?
Right. That is the truth.
Right?
That is so true.
Like, what would we do if we didn't have like desires and needs and wants and conflict?
Right.
What would we even do with ourselves?
Yeah, hot mess.
We wouldn't go to work because we wouldn't need any money for anything.
Right.
You know, we wouldn't be building things because we wouldn't need anything for anything.
Exactly. Oh, Lord. So
if problems didn't exist.
Exactly. Catrice says, I want to make sure that I give my husband his love language more, which is quality time and physical touch. That's how I would like to show up for him.
Oh, I love that.
I love it. Wow.
I love that, Catrice. And Catrice is also talking about something I talk about a lot, which is entering with contribution. Like, I feel like whether it's a romantic relationship, a friendship, a partnership, or whatever, we always do better when both people are looking to contribute.
Yeah.
Because so often, you know, we're talking to people and they're always, especially if they've just gotten out of relationships, it's always what I didn't get, what they didn't give me, what they didn't do. You know, meanwhile, not even focusing on what I could have done.
Right.
We meet those people all the time.
All the time. I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. All the time.
It's hilarious.
It's a thing.
She said, I tend to give him a bunch of gifts, which is mine. He appreciates it, but he loves my time. Yeah. I love it. I love that you know that you understand what your husband needs.
Right.
You know, her being my sister, I know that you learned that. You didn't know that, you know, so that's great that now you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's good awareness, too, that she realizes that she's giving her love language. Then that's what people often do is they try to, they know their love language, and so they try to do for you what they would want done for them.
Correct.
In the hopes that you're going to do what they would want,
and it doesn't
never
work
works
like that at all. It's so true.
It never works.
It is so true. Wow,
it's so true.
What is the next one?
The last one is, what steps are you going to take and why? So with this question, it's like, what steps are we going to take to create this new thing in the love life going forward?
What steps am I going? You want me to go first, or you going
Sure.
first?
Well, we were just talking about
when I go first.
I like taking turns, honey.
Okay.
So when you were saying about the listening and understanding, so what steps do you feel like you want to be accountable for taking?
Well, I mean, okay, as far as that is concerned, I think I've already started taking steps, and I think because I'm very aware of myself now. So I try to, before I try to listen to what he's saying, right? So that I can respond correctly. Because sometimes I think one of the issues is, you know how you have something on your mind.
Yeah.
And so the person is talking. So because you have it on your mind and you want to say it, you're not listening to them, right? So you can't listen to them and talk. You know, it's not working. So I try not to think of anything. I try to really take it and do that whole turning of the head and really hear what he's saying and listen. And then I go through this whole process before I open my mouth and start talking.
Yeah. Like, you mean take it all in?
Take it all in so that I know. And then while he's talking to, but I am kind of praying because I'm like, Lord, help me. Help me,
praying
Father.
as you listen.
Yes. Because what bothers me is when he responds and it's not what I'm talking about. Like, I know you weren't listening to me because what you just said made no sense. Yeah. It didn't even, So what I'm doing now is just trying to go through the whole process before I open my mouth. And hopefully, prayerfully, he mirrors me.
Yeah.
I do. Know. So I think that works.
I think that that's absolutely it. I mean, I'm a big advocate of, when you feel like you're not getting support or appreciation or listening or understanding or compassion, the first thing to do is go inward and offer it. But I know you to be someone who listens, right, and can hear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not everybody can do that. It's like what you were saying. Most people just wait to talk,
right,
and try to. And when you're in a relationship, that's a learned thing.
It's learned.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't always like that.
Yeah.
But
and I also think it's more challenging when you're dealing with a romantic partner.
Yeah, of course.
To not do that. Because it's like, you've been thinking about it all day. Like, I got to tell him whatever. And then the conversation starts, and it's like, that's what's in my mind.
Right.
Yeah.
And he, some things he says, like, when you talk, you act like you already know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the reason why I kind of already know is because I thought about it a while ago.
Yes.
And data for me, I need data. I need facts.
Yeah.
So when I come to you about something, it's because I already did the research.
Yeah.
So basically, I do know.
Yeah.
You get it? And he hates
I worked it all out.
I already worked it out.
Which is what we do. Like, as women, we're really good at, like, processing things and thinking it through and then making decisions about it after our thought process.
Yes.
And a lot of times what we do with men who are just thinking about what's in front of them and it's not a good or bad thing.
Right.
It's just two different things. It's like we come with something that's like we figured it out, or something that's a problem, and they're like, I wasn't even thinking about this.
Right.
Like, I got nothing to give you.
I wasn't even thinking about it.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I got nothing to give you. I got to sit and ruminate on it for a while.
Right.
But then they forget because then they get hungry, or they forget because they want to have sex or whatever.
Something. Right. Or the game is on, whatever the case may be. Yes.
Right? Which I actually think that points to, like, how we can help each other. Okay. Because I think that sort of being in the moment thing and being able to just be where you're at is valuable. Because I think men are very, and I'm generalizing, I know this, but they're very like, oh, I want to eat, I eat.
Right.
I need to shit, I shit.
Right.
I want to have sex, I have sex.
Right.
I want to go over here, I go over here. Like, it's a very,
I know what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah. Whereas women, we're like, well, I have this to do, this to do, this to do. Let me put all these things together, and if I do this like this, then this will work for this, and then it's a much more complicated kind of processing that we do.
It's true,
but I think that's the balance that we're trying to find, because we need that from each other,
right?
On some level,
isn't that something?
Yeah,
God knew what He was doing,
right? Hello.
Even though sometimes me and you still had a conversation because I want to know why, but
but that's why the communication thing is so good.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
like getting. I feel like I have total faith in you too that you'll be able to communicate, right? Yeah,
figuring it out.
Joe says every ship, relationships and friendships, have responsibilities to the individuals you are involved with.
Yes,
most definitely.
Wow,
I agree.
Why don't I just repeat everything you just said?
I don't know, honey.
Yes.
I do that to you too.
I agree.
I noticed in watching the YouTube, sometimes you'll say stuff and I'll be like, right? It's habitual stuff.
I try not to watch it because then I can find everything wrong. Yeah. I'm like, why was my hand like that? Why did I do this?
Why did it sit like that?
Yeah. Right? I'm like, why?
Like, why is my one boob higher?
I'm like, exactly. It's always, I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Right? So, see, look, I just did it, right?
See?
So that's it for Valentine's weekend, I think.
That's
Unless
it.
You have anything else you want to share.
I think we kind of went over it.
If you guys want to share anything about your Valentine's weekend, go ahead. But one of the big things of this Valentine's weekend is, I went to see that movie, The Photograph.
Oh, yes?
Yes, and I know you did as well.
I sure did.
Right?
Tonight.
Were you planning to go this weekend?
We were.
Yeah.
On Saturday, he said, no, I asked him because I didn't do anything for him for Valentine's Day because he did everything.
Yeah.
He did everything. I'm like, really? So I was like, well, you want to do something on Monday? And I went to the movies. Yeah. So we were planning. So when you texted me, I was like, oh, that was already...
I love it.
We was already doing
serendipity. It was perfect. Mm-hmm. So I came and watched it by myself, which I was happy to do because I didn't want anyone else's... sort of input. Like, I wanted to just watch it.
Gotcha.
What happened was a couple of friends and clients actually texted me who had seen it. And they were like, you really have to go see this movie because there's this whole thing around her and her mother. And you did that whole series around mothers and, daughters and how it affects relationships and stuff like that. And that it would be right up your alley. Not to mention that I love romantic movies, of course, because I'm a woman and a relationship coach, but I'm not like one of those people who is bowled over by all the like rom-com, romantic comedy tropes and stuff like that. Like, the cheesy ones I could do without, but like a good love movie, I haven't
seen a love movie in so long, so right? I really didn't even think it was
Love
going
Jones?
to be.
Do you remember Love Jones?
I didn't watch that. I'm not a big movie watcher.
No,
believe it or not, no. And so I have to go to the movies early. You see what time we went today?
Yeah.
Because if I don't, I'll fall asleep. I'm that person.
I hear that.
My husband already knows. Do not waste your money
ain't
on
gonna
Nneka.
happen.
Anytime after 8, she's suspicious. Right.
Even if you go to like a crazy blockbuster movie, do you fall asleep?
Yeah, I fall asleep.
Really?
Because I'm tired. My mind has been thinking all day, and then you want to put me in a dark room with some couches?
My mind is thinking all day.
Don't do it.
Right? And now they have reclining chairs and you can order.
This one was, but it was early, so
yeah,
I stayed up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just figured it would be nice to talk about some things we liked and didn't like. You know, we said we weren't going to do any spoilers because it's still early
spoilers
on. For anybody who hasn't seen this movie, I overall generally enjoyed it. I wouldn't say it was my most favorite movie that I've ever seen. You didn't like it?
Oh, you saw me? Well, I didn't say I hated it.
Okay. Well, let's talk about our likes and dislikes. Okay, I had likes and dislikes.
Tell me something you liked. Let's talk about the likes. Hi, Darlene. Go ahead.
Hi, Darlene. Here's one thing I really, really liked about it.
Okay.
That it was a story that was a human story about people, and they just happened to be black people. As opposed to a lot of movies, it's a black story. Does that make sense?
Okay, gotcha. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like, obviously, movies like 12 Years a Slave. Like, I feel like there's a lot of movies, and it's great, it's not a complaint, that are just about it being a black story. And so that it becomes a black movie. Whereas this, I think that this was a very universal human love story.
Yes.
And the reason that I mentioned Love Jones earlier is because, and I think Love Jones came out, early 2000s or even earlier than that? I'm not sure. I want to say almost 20 years ago. And this is the first movie that I've seen since that movie that I can say that about.
Oh, wow.
And maybe if there's others out there, please let me know. But to be able to say that it was a romantic movie that was just about a human story where it had nothing... It had nothing to do with the fact that they were black. They just happened to be black in the movie and, living life. But that story could be anyone's story.
I agree.
That's what I liked about that.
I agree.
Right?
What I loved about it, or liked about it, because love for me is very strong. So what I liked about it was the fact that it did depict how, back in the day, I'm trying to talk slow so that I won't say anything. Right. But back in the day, people didn't not tell the truth, but people, how am I going to say this? People didn't, you see how...
They didn't tell their stuff.
They didn't tell.
Yeah, they kept.
You get what I'm trying to say? Yeah, they kept secrets.
Yeah,
a lot of secrets, and that was so true. You know, even in my family, like it was just secrets.
Yeah, no, totally.
When you could just come out and say, have a conversation. Yeah, that's why I'm so big off of conversation today. Yeah, because I think I watched, my family have secrets for no reason.
I hear that. Absolutely.
That's the part.
And I feel like so many families, mine included, like so many families have, were built on those secrets.
Why?
Which is another universal
Because my husband was like, oh, they do that now. Because I said, you see, this is the way it was back in the days. He said, no, Nneka, this is the way it is now. Yeah. And I guess I'm so blinded to the fact that people are doing it now because I'm such a person that if I talk. Yeah. Anything. If you never, I don't send subliminals. Yeah. I don't, you don't have to, remember I told you that when we met, I said, you don't never have to figure me out because if you do something I don't like, I'm going to tell you. So if you hold it, it's going to be on you. Yeah. Because for me, I tell everything.
Say it out.
Yeah.
I like that.
Right?
Yeah. But let me say this though.
Say it.
Because as I was watching that movie, I kept feeling like, oh, back in the day, as I was watching it too. But as I left and I was thinking about it, the parent, the mother in that movie is our generation.
Which mother? I was a little confused sometimes. Her mother.
The main, Issa Rae's character, May. Her mother is our generation. Because if you remember, it was the late 80s when she was a teenager. Right. And I was thinking to myself, wow, I kept thinking the olden days, this was before, but now the olden days is us, honey.
It's true. Wow, you're right.
Right?
You're right.
Yeah. So, I think your husband might be right on some level. Like, people are still telling those secrets. I think it's probably not as, I don't know. I want to say it's not as pervasive as it was back then, but I don't know.
I don't know because we're not doing it. Stop keeping secrets. Go ahead. Right? You know what I mean? Like if the child is not his, tell him. Yeah. If the child is his, tell him. Whatever the case may be, you feel so much better.
Yeah. No,
deal with it, the consequences, you know, like whatever it is, the mistakes you've made. Why hold on to that? Why take it into another generation?
And that also speaks to what it did to Issa Rae's character, the main character. So, you know, I was saying that a lot of people recommended that I see it because of the mother-daughter thing. Mm-hmm. So, you know, what you end up with not telling your children the truth and what's really going on in their lives. There's these years and years that she went through without knowing, you know, thinking it was a secret, and also feeling a way about her mother. And so that forms who we are as adult women.
Yes, it
which
does.
is why it's so important that the mother-daughter relationship be a healed place. And what I loved about this movie is the way they represented how she saw herself as her mother, and as long as she saw herself that way, she couldn't open herself up to love.
Wow, right. I remember that.
Right?
Yes.
She's like, what if I'm just like her? And she wasn't able to open up until she was able to see herself as an individual.
Right. It's true.
And we are of our parents, of course. We come from our parents, but we moved into this world through them. So we're separate individual. And what I used to, and I still teach all the time, is about rites of passage. Being able to, because, you know, in our culture, we don't always give that rite of passage. Like, you are a woman now. I see you as separate from me. Like, I may have raised you and given birth to you, but I get that you're a woman with your own preferences, perspective, choices, all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. And so without a mother to give that to you, you have to learn how to do that for yourself if your mom doesn't know how to do that.
So what do you think is a good age to do that?
I think that it's starts as soon as you have any sort of a puberty, really. I think any sort of
puberty starts at what age?
Usually around 10 to 15.
My daughter turned 16 last week, and I had that conversation with her.
You did?
Oh,
yes.
Perfect. Yeah. Because, I mean, I'm not a perfect parent. Yeah. And my oldest son probably would say that more than me.
He's the first one. He's like, I got the worst of it.
He took all of the mess. And so, you know, I want my children to, you know, to talk to me.
Yeah.
Because I talk to them.
Yeah.
And so when Madison turned 16, I'm like, all right, let's sit down, let's talk.
Yeah.
You know, now you're 16, which means that boys might start coming. Yeah. You know, but I made a joke. I was like, let's talk about all the mistakes you're going to make now. Let me beat you. And let's move on. Let me beat you. Right?
Let me give you a preview.
In advance. So what mistakes you think you're going to make? But we had a whole conversation because I wanted her to understand that I saw that she's growing up.
Yeah. Oh,
now,
I love that.
You know, you have to just make sure that you know that your actions have consequences, and you want to minimize your mistakes as much as you can.
Absolutely.
So that's what I'm here for. I will never ever lie to you, and I will never steer you wrong.
Yeah. I love it.
I told both of my children, I mean, all three of them, but the middle one, who's 24 now, when he had sex, his first time, he came to me. And I was like, you know, and I made sure that I wasn't, you know, I didn't attack him or whatever. I wasn't ready.
Make him wrong for it.
Oh, no. I asked him, how was it? You know, I was very uncomfortable, but we had the conversation and I felt good. And I want the same thing for my daughter.
Absolutely. And I love that because that's what's so important is that, you know, allowing you to go ahead and have your identity.
Correct.
Right. And here's the thing for the, you know, women out there who didn't have that, you know, or a mother that knew to do that, it's very important that we get to a point where we say, I have to be allowed to have my own identity.
Yes.
Because you can go through a whole adulthood making decisions based on needing your mother's approval or feeling like you're like your mother or feeling like, you know, that's your fate because of whatever your mother's fate was.
Right.
And that's how I have to admit, that's how I always was with relationships. I said earlier how I thought relationships had to be struggle. Mm-hmm. Well, that's what my mother went through. She was always like, you know, in a snit.
Right.
About my father, something he did. She always had like a problem with him. You know, there was always something. And so that's what I thought relationships were. And I thought that I was of her and like her.
Wow.
You know, and so that's what I created in my adult life based on believing that. And until I got rid of that, I wasn't able to have a different experience than that.
Wow.
And that's what this movie, it really represents really well.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So some of your dislikes.
Some of my dislikes, we were talking earlier about the continuity thing.
Oh, God.
The timing thing is a little confusing. Like
it is. If you're not paying attention, if you fall asleep for a quick second, you're
like, what the hell?
Like, what happened? She was what? Pregnant?
Right?
What? Yeah, it was just, that part.
A little choppy.
It was too choppy. It could have been a little smoother.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah.
And I think, was there any... Yeah, no, that was my only kind of dislike. The rest of it, I guess I was, you know, and I keep comparing it to Love Jones, which I don't know if that's completely fair, but Love Jones for me was just, very, very sexy. And I won't say that it wasn't sexy. There was sexiness to it. I liked the actors, the kids, but I didn't, I didn't feel it.
Gotcha. I don't think they wanted you to. I don't think they wanted you to feel it. They wanted you to know that something happened.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that type of movie.
Yeah. What?
Right?
Like porn? Like
yeah, you know how some you'd be like,
I didn't feel it.
Right. No, it wasn't everybody could watch it, but it was, I think that's... Yeah.
But don't you feel like, there's that intensity thing, like that doesn't necessarily have to mean more of a sex scene, but like when the actors have really good chemistry with each other.
They didn't.
I didn't get a feeling that they're both sexy, and I think both of them are very talented.
Very.
But I didn't feel like that chemistry where it's like you really want to see them get together.
Right, in real life.
Exactly.
Yeah, in real life. Or they had, you know how sometimes actors, after the fact, they get together, they hook up or whatever. Yeah. They didn't hook up.
They didn't do that.
No.
We're already at 8:57.
Oh, shoot.
Nneka's favorite thing this week.
What happened?
I know, it went so fast.
Oh, my God. Catrice said Che had sex. LOL. She's laughing at Che, my son having sex. That was funny. Okay, so Nneka's favorite thing this week. Okay, so here's... Hey, see you soon, and thank you for stepping in. You're welcome, Benita. That's Benita from, oh my God, wait. Benita? Call me when you need someone to talk to. Call me, satisfaction guarantee. Call me. Yes. Hi, Benita. Okay, so Benita, real quick. All right, let's forget about this. So Benita is having her watch party. It is coming up for, what is it called? When you stop singing and people want to know, unsung. So I'm doing the makeup for them, for Ladies of Sky.
Yes.
And so look, I forgot the date. If she hurries up and tell me, I'll tell you guys the date. Watch Unsung.
Ladies of Sky. Unsung.
Yes.
Most definitely.
Okay, go ahead, go. So finish.
Yes, wait. So we're not doing Nneka's favorite thing?
No, it's a bracelet. Okay. We just came in. You can't even see it.
It's iridescent.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
It's iridescent. Right? It's beautiful.
So we have makeup and matchmaking this Saturday. You guys who are local, if you're near Teaneck, if you're in New York, the tickets are only what, $20? $20. We're doing makeup and
I'm never doing that again. $20 to teach you how to do makeup. You better take advantage of it.
Full
I'm telling you. A full face. We're going to have some conversations. You only have a few more days, 5 days left to purchase your ticket. Yes, I will never charge $20 again. So jump on it.
Get it now.
Okay,
I'm going to put the link in the post on Facebook. Also, what's the other thing? It's makeup and matchmaking. So you'll learn how to do a full beat, and I'm going to do a matchmaking assessment and add you to my roster if you're single. If you're not single, that's okay. You can still come do the full beat. We're going to have ladies networking. We're going to be, chit-chatting and having a ladies' afternoon.
Just come out and be with the women.
Exactly.
Even if you don't like makeup, just come in here and talk about it. Right?
You'll get some nuggets. We'll get to hang out together and have a good time.
March 15th is Unsung. Okay. Thank you, Benita.
That's
Got
March
it.
15th.
Yes.
Okay. And then what else? That's it.
What are you?
Huh?
You're go ahead. I'm a matchmaker.
Oh, what are you doing? I'm a matchmaker for Talkify. And so those of you out there, my single people out there who want to get matched up, come be on my roster, because I have a lot of fantastic clients that I'm matching for in New York, in Los Angeles, in Chicago, in Virginia. I can't remember the name of the town, but different places in Virginia, in Atlanta. So, I don't know.
She just hooked up this couple. Look at me telling.
Yeah,
and they both gave each other a 5. They both were cute. They had a good time. She hooked them up like they went bowling or something.
They went bowling at Vintage Bowling Alley in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. She's an amazing matchmaker.
Thank you.
Yes. So
and they were both a yes for each other. They're going out again.
So be hooked up. Come on.
I will help you.
She'll help you.
Follow us on at Ask for Candy Podcast, at Candy Love Coach, at Celebrities Boutique Teaneck on Instagram.
Yes.
Follow us on YouTube to watch us. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I think Armed Radio might have already been cut out. I don't know. Bye Armed Radio.
Bye Armed Radio.
The people on Facebook, we love you so much. Until next time, never forget you are a love machine. If you ever start to feel like you aren't getting the love you need, just make more and ask for Candy. And Nneka.
Don't ask.
And thank you to everybody who showed up. I see Dana and Alicia and Drew just showed up. And anybody else who's new over there, you want to say hi?
Yes, no, I just said hi to Benita.
Okay.
Everybody, Sharon, Catrice, Jennifer, Harry, Jimmy, Latoya. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you guys.
Love you so much.
Yes.
Bye now.
Bye. Take care.